All right, what's up, guys? So this is week 5 of the Pro Tools course. Today is recording essentials. So I'm gonna go over everything that you need to know about recording, and I just wanted to start off, I guess, with a lot of people to kind of wonder what mic they need to use, and you know, depending on the genre that you're working with, I typically do tons of rap and tons of like rap and R&B, more rap than anything. So, when I was picking a mic, I was trying to pick something that I thought was going to be the best all around, just because I knew I was going to end up doing more than just rap. But I picked a really good mic that is good for rap, which is just a Neumann TLM 103. You can look it up. It's about $1,200. But your mic selection is pretty important. So, moving forward into your recording, make sure that you have a mic that is going to suit your needs. Another thing we're going to talk about is just mic placement. And I'm going to show all you guys this in a second, but mic placement in terms of where the mic is with the artist. So like you see this mic is right here. I'm not really close to it and I'm not too far away. I'm like at a good, 6 inches from the mic. You kind of want to have your artist like that if they're in the booth, and not from the mic. It'd be more from the pop filter. This kind of has like a pop filter built onto it, but you want to make sure they're like 6 inches from the pop filter. So what we're going to do is actually jump into Pro Tools. I have a mic set up, and I'm going to kind of show you how I look at gain, that's incoming from the mic, and kind of how I level things out, and what I use to level things out, and maybe what you should be looking for if you don't have the exact same setup as I have. So let's jump into Pro Tools. So now that we're in Pro Tools, I have my mic set up. You can see this is my TLM 103, and I have a pop filter, as you can hear it. I have a pop filter, and I'm about 6 inches from that pop filter, and also the pop filter is not touching my mic. There's a little bit of distance between them, and I'm about this far. So this is a really good position. If you have someone that is a lot louder, they might actually need to move back, or if you have some women tend to sing or rap really quiet. Maybe not rap, but sing quiet. You might have to have them, come up. But this is a super good distance from the mic, right? All right. We're in Pro Tools. What I did was create a audio track. I just went to track at the top, track, new, and created a singular mono track, which we are going to double click here and name record. Okay. So we name this record. I'm actually going to color it like this. This is what color I do my record tracks. But if we take a look at, let's talk about what is running through the mic, preamps. I do have outboard gear, but I am not using it in this situation. I'm running strictly off my mic in, or my preamps in my Apollo console. And ignore down here where it says SM7B. I routed it different. But so when you're looking at the gain that you're getting, whether you're singing, rapping, talking, whatever, you can see this meter right here as I'm talking. You can see that I'm getting in this area right here while I'm talking. So I try to aim for, whenever I'm recording, I try to aim for, at least -18. Like it needs to be higher than -18. -18 to 6. Just up in here somewhere. If you're recording into this, you're going to have good headroom. It's not too loud. It's not way down here quiet. So this is a good area. The way you can do that, if you have an Apollo, then this is great for you, because now you can see exactly what it looks like. But in your console, you're able to put preamps, which it's called a unison plugin, on just on your mic. So now my mic is being run through this. Now the alternative is if you're using a different interface or something that doesn't allow you to put plugins on then there's usually a gain knob on your interface, and that's what you would adjust. So if you're too quiet, you turn your gain knob up. If you're too loud, you'll turn your gain knob down. You'll have to get some takes and kind of watch it so you can adjust it. But I have a preamp here on my mic, and my gain knob in this case is right here. So let me turn this EQ off. All right, there was EQ on it, but I turned it off. So basically, if I was too loud, I would turn this down. I would just bring the knob down, and if I'm too quiet, I would bring it up. But for now, this is kind of where, and I could probably even go here. I could probably even go here because I feel like I'm kind of straining. And you can actually, you want to remember when you're turning the gain up, you're also going to hear more. So you can hear my fan. You can hear my fan in the background. And that's just, you know, because the gain is higher. That's why it's so important to make sure that you're recording in a room that has, I don't know, like a bed or covers like on the walls, or, you know, in a closet where there's clothes. Those type things are going to help your room, or definitely record in a booth if you can record in a booth. But that is what we do for the gain. In my case, I am going to actually put a compressor on here. Let's remove it. Let's remove this. All right, so I'm going to put an insert on here. I like to record gain, EQ, and compression, right? Which we've got some gain going on here. Excuse my voice. We got EQ here, which I'm not going to use EQ, but I do want a compressor. This is going to help level me out. You know, if you don't have this option, you should get an Apollo. But if you do have this option, you're getting the first-hand experience. So, yeah, and what you're going to do with your Apollo is first you're basically going to use the peak reduction. This is going to basically, you're telling it how much to compress. And we're just going to do a little. As you can see, I'm getting a little high up here when I get a little louder. And, you know, we'll just do a little bit. And then that's kind of nice. I'll probably do a little more. What I'll do is probably do a little more like that, and then make it up with the gain knob. Yo, yo, yo. Check, 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 check. You know, which that's good. That's going to help level out the vocal. Now that we have these two things going on, let's go back to Pro Tools. And yeah, let's try to record something. So in this case, I'm not going to put a beat in here, but if you were to put a 2-track beat in here, you would just drag it in, and it's going to create a track for it. And what you'll do is gain stage that, which we'll get into that in the later videos for mixing. This is just strictly to teach how to record, but you would gain stage that beat so it's not too loud. All right, so we've got a record track here. I have my input set to input 2 because that is where my mic is plugged in. Check on your interface and make sure you have your mic plugged into either 1 or 2. And we labeled this record. And let me create 2 new tracks. All right, so we have 2 new tracks that just recorded. That we just created. And these are the tracks that we are going to drop the recordings on. So one thing you want to make sure you have on is here, right click on your record button up here and turn it to quick punch. This is going to help you when you're moving fast and you're recording a lot of takes. And over here, you've got to have what this little record button tells what track you want to record. For instance, you can actually record multiple tracks at a time. Like if you were doing drums or some instruments that needed multiple tracks, or even multiple artists at a time. That is what that is for, but you got to have it selected. This monitoring button, input monitoring, is so that I can hear myself, right? I can hear myself through the mic. And another thing we're going to look at is you want to, in setup and playback engine, you really want to make sure that your buffer size, you really want to make sure your buffer size is as low as possible, as low as your computer can handle. The lower it is, the less latency there's going to be. So, all right. So this is how I record. This is super simple. I'm going to make it super easy for you. But I start, you start wherever you want to start. And I actually do it like this. There's a couple different ways to record. You can, if you want to hit up here and then press space, that's going to record. Let me turn my waves down. Okay. That's going to record. There's another way to record where you could just click up here and then click 3 on the numeric keyboard. So the longer keyboard that has the number pad on the right side, 3 will work for that. And then I have a shortcut set up to where it's Command Option. So when I hit Command Option, it starts recording. So there's a couple different ways to record. You got to figure out what you like. I use all 3, actually. It's just what's convenient in the exact moment. But oftentimes with quick punch on, you can actually just do this and see how I'm talking right now. It's not catching anything. If I press record and then they're like, hey, go back to that, you can actually pull this back and it caught all of that, which is super cool. So let's see. This is how I do everyday sessions. This is how I record. So, right, we're going. Yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. They might be like, yeah, keep that. I'll be like, all right. I literally, oftentimes I'll just drag it right down, right? I'll trim the sides. So A and S on the keyboard. A is going to trim everything to the left and S is going to trim everything to the right. So I'll click here because I want to get rid of this extra space or whatever. I'll hit A. Boom, it's going to take all that away. I'll go here. S, and then I'll often fade it. So on the top corners, like here, you can see the thing changed. I'll do that. And to make sure this actually works correctly, there's a couple things that need to be on over here at the right. The A and Z up here in the top right, make sure that's selected. And then up here, these tools, you want to make sure it's not just one of these selected. You hit this outer box. Make sure they're all 3 selected. I have it like this at all times and never change it, almost ever. So, but yeah, we'll fade the sides and then we can actually listen to it. And what I'll do is punch back in. I'll just say some more random crap. But so I'll go and I'll come in right here. So what I'll do is just play. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Okay, I'm teaching the class. I'm recording. All right, so yeah, and you just trim, fade. You could do it when it's down here or up here, whatever. It's going to depend on what the artist wants. But this is actually extremely simple, and you just start back. You just click back here somewhere, and I'll use command, command space. Okay, I'm teaching the class. I'm recording. Okay, yeah. Hey, yeah, hey. So, as you can see, I'm no rapper, but this is the best way to do this. And a lot of people don't do this, but stagger, or a lot of newer recording people don't do this, but you want to stagger like this so you don't have stuff overlapping. So make sure you're creating 2. If you have a hook, do 2 hook tracks, 2 verse tracks. Not every song is going to be like that. Some people will just run through, but yeah, this is a pretty simple video. This is just how to record, and that's it. I don't think that I missed anything. Recording is actually pretty simple. You're checking your levels, making sure the mic is plugged in correct. Make sure your distance from the mic is right. Make sure the artist runs a couple test runs so that you can check your Apollo and make sure the levels, or your interface, and make sure your levels are right for the session. You don't want them to be too loud or too quiet. And you record, and then, yeah, you just go about it like that. So I hope this video helped, man. Shout out to you members that are watching this. And, yeah, appreciate y'all.